Hey grade 10s, so today we're going to look at conserving mass in chemical reactions and the law of conservation of mass. So the law of conservation of mass basically says that in every single chemical reaction, the final mass that we have in products is always equal to the mass of the reactants. So in other words, in chemical reactions, mass is never added or gained. We are never creating or destroying atoms. So the mass is equal in reactants and products to the atom. Okay, so the atoms on one side of the equation must balance with the atoms on the other side of the equation. So another way to look at the law of conservation of mass is that in a chemical reaction, what we're doing is actually breaking the bonds between molecules. New molecules get made because the atoms will rearrange themselves. But even though the atoms got rearranged, that doesn't mean that the number of atoms changes. So the number of atoms of each element that we have is the same before and after the reaction. It's just that they've been rearranged in a new way in the chemical reaction. So just some examples to think about are things where we think, well, the mass is changing. I'm not left with what I started with. For example, when a log burns in a fireplace, after the log has burned, the ashes that we're left with weigh much less than the log did to begin with. So what happened to the rest of the mass? Or when gasoline is burned in a car. So when we pump gas into our car, the gasoline that we pump in and burn as fuel is weighing a lot in the gas tank. But then where does all that mass go? Like, where does all the gas go? So what's actually happening is when gas or vapors are produced in a chemical reaction, when a gas is produced, so when a log is burning, all the smoke, or when the emissions that we give off in our car, those gases count as mass. So if you actually collected all of the gas that was given off in the reaction, it would actually equal the mass of the log or the mass of the gasoline that we started with. So the law of conservation of mass will still hold true every time. The mass of the reactants must equal the mass of the products right down to the atom. So that's it for this video. Thanks for listening. Bye.